With a growing mass exodus of youths abroad, leaving a horde of them unequivocally disenchanted with groans of uncertainty about what the future holds for the average Nigerian youth, the need to change this narrative of the youthful force and powerhouse of the most populous black nation beckons more than ever. Today, unemployment and hunger leaves the unemployed youth in a vulnerable state of untold hardship, exposing them to several vices ranging from drug addiction to violence and several forms of criminality. The frustrations of many Nigerian youths today is now seen in many growing quarters as a metaphor for bad governance and leadership deficit in the country. I'm delighted to have the Youth Development Minister, Ayodele Olawande, on the program Arise Prime Time. Glad to have you join me on the program.
Thank you very much.
This evening.
Good evening.
Like you heard me read there, hunger, deprivation, teeming youths, uncertainty, what the future holds for them. Has any date been fixed for the confab? And what's the main objective?
Thank you very much. I've one way or the other tried as much as possible to put myself away from these confab so that we will bring to the people, to the Nigerian youth, even to the whole Nigerian, what exactly we want to do, how we want to do it.
Okay.
What is the purpose for this confab? Because a lot of people have said different things about confab.
And you don't blame them.
There have been confab. There have been a lot of confab before. Even myself, I've attended 2-3 confab before in the country. As a young man, where still I am now. And I discovered that we can't continue to do things the way we are doing it, and we are expecting
a different result.
It's not possible. So this confab, a date has not been fixed yet.
Yeah.
And when you went through the presidential New Year message, so that was said for this first quarter of this year. And what we are trying to do is different from what I've been done before. If I'm a young man, and that is one major thing that we've been talking about, when I read through what you just said about the youth resiveness and all that, and every problem we've been facing. And again, let me say this. We are Nigerian youth. Nobody can tell us. I'm a youth too. That's my constituency. Nobody can tell us that over 40 years, we have been in, there's a system in this country. There are systems that have been working, there are institutions and all that. And the Nigerian youth have not been able to feel the government in any way. They can't see the government and they can't touch the government. We have been having back and front. And the administration of President Tinubu, for the first time in this country that we are having, since 1999, that we are having a youth for youth government. That listening to us, that hear us, that want to, as much as possible, feel what we are feeling. And that is why when the president mentioned and said, let the poor breathe, a lot of people are thinking that maybe immediately things are going to be turning from what it is. But it's a gradual process. A man that have not been able to feed the government, you can't just tell him to leave the road or to leave the street or to, no. You can't tell him that, okay, things will change. Things that have not changed for 40 years of age, that they have been there. And we have government. What we are lacking, what a government is lacking that the president is fixing and is able to fix, and everybody is moving in line with it, is that we have no people that we have for 40 years. We don't have people that are not competent. We have people that lack character. And we have people that are not people's first. We have leaders that are not people's first.
So now do we have competent people of character?
We have, and that is what we are saying, that the government is committed. The government is committed to the people. And everything that the government is doing is the people's first. And it's not about today. Every program's initiative, tax reform, everything about this government is about the future, not now. At all.
But you must have short, long,
medium,
and long-term
There
goals.
are short, but don't forget that when you put, I call short, what a lot of people call short, medium term goal, short-term goal, is cosmetic. That will still bounce back to us back.
It can be cosmetic because, I mean, for example, if you want to achieve 100,000 by the end of the year, this is just starting.
Okay.
So your medium, you have how many quarters? You have 4 quarters.
4 quarters.
So it can be 25,000 short-term goals.
Wait, that
So
is
it works.
No, that is on box. That is on box. It works. I'm not saying it doesn't work. But most of those things that they call for us then,
Yeah.
and that is what I'm explaining, that is a short-term goals, you will discover that it's not even working. I've attended seminars, trainings, and all that. And after the trainings, we pick the bag, we put it in our bag, and we go back home.
And that's the end of it. All right, because I heard you mention not the usual. They turn away from the usual. So the president has directed you to finalize what he called modalities for selection of representatives. And this is where governments, you can say this is where the Achilles heel always is. What are the modalities? What are the chances of this not being hijacked, as in the past, by politicians who will then give it to their own?
And that is where the commitment comes from. And that is where you show your competence. And that is how I'm telling you now categorically that it is not the regular confab. I will just give you tips of how it's going to work. We are looking, I am looking at the confab that is going to simultaneously working and engaging the young people in 109 federal constituency.
109 constituencies.
Yes, 109, so that everybody will be carried along.
So how's the selection process?
The problem that we're having before is that the government gives you, probably a state government, maybe you consult a state government, or you consult this, and they give you delegations. And this delegate comes to Abuja. They don't even know what they want to say. They don't even know what they want to do. The worst come to the worst, they pack them to somewhere and said, okay, let's talk about this and this and that. The problem is that what is happening? When I was Minister of State, I have been to 23 states, not the capital city. I've walked around, I've been to Borno, went to the local government close to Chibok and all that. And I discovered that what they need in Kano is different from what they need in Ekiti.
Of course.
Or what they need in Ondo, where I come from. Even in Ondo, where I came from, what they need in each senatorial district is different from each other. So how can we harness this so that even the initiative of government, if people need to do agriculture, we will base it that this region are smart and wonderful in agriculture. If we need to transfer people in tech, we know that we go to Lagos and pick those people that have in tech, pick some other states that have in tech.
So how are you
and that
selecting?
is and the selection is we are back to the federal constituency. We want to go and engage there. We have weeks. The 30 days is now Abuja 30 days. The first and second week, we have the federal constituency, we have the proposed blueprint that I'm talking to you about, we have the federal constituency, we have the zona, then from the zona, some set of people, the third week, fourth week, another delegate that I've gone through everything, that I've went through everything they're talking about, we come back to Abuja, we put it together, and even at the final stage of it, we are going to have what we called those people that will sit down again and looked at it. Is it the judiciary that will work on this? It is the legislative that will work on this. It is the executive that will work on this. So that as fast as possible, we implement.
A youth is listening now, or many. So they're wondering, when you're doing this selection, how am I going to get in on this?
You don't need to get in on this. You need to participate in your federal constituency.
That's what I mean.
Yes.
So
it's open. Just 2 local governments make a federal constituency. I think in the east, or probably in the southeast, that is where we have 5 local governments that mix. And when you look at those local governments, you know it couldn't match some 2 local governments in Oyo State. So probably 2 local governments makes federal constituency. Okay. So and it's for 1 week. There is no how you're not going to participate. If they have a section today, they have another section tomorrow. We want to know what is happening. We want to really go deeply. The president wants to involve himself in everything that is youth-driven. So that these initiatives will go directly to the places that they need them.
So, I mean, because you're going to have a lot of people attend. So, eventually, how are you going to pick out the people that will then, be part? Because you can't take everybody along.
You can't take everybody along when you go to propose federal constituency. And it's not even going to be in federal constituency alone. We are going to have a committee that will also engage with the people on X, which is the online people abroad. Bring them, talk to them, and engage them.
Okay.
And we bring everything together.
Right.
So the selection, I understand what you are trying to say. Probably how are they going to select those people that are going to participate? It's an open town hall.
Okay.
It's not going to be, you are not going to pick anybody. The only people that are going to pick that you're trying to come up with are those that will go and engage. And that's a technical working committee.
Okay. All right. Talk to us about it's called relaunch. I mean, I'm going to go back to 3 years of it in 2020, but the relaunch of this 100 billion naira NYIF, that's the Nigerian Youth Investment Fund. Who qualifies for this fund? How are the various states going to participate?
Good. You know, when a job is being given to you, it is for you to do the job. Nobody's going to come and do the job for you. And I discovered that when I was Minister of State of same ministry, there is a little to catch up with in the investment fund. And immediately I become minister, I really want to know what is happening. Because at the end of the day, Nigerian youth will hold you responsible for it. That is when there was this day I was on X-Space for 3 hours engaging the young people when I was Minister of State. And I discovered that a lot of people are saying that how are they going to select those people that are going to get this fund, which is very important.
Exactly.
And for now, I'm not convinced with what is on ground to the dashboard that was opened. So I'm looking at, we are working in hands very soon to see that is this dashboard not tampered with, so that a lot of people will do a registration. We are working towards it, revalidation. The genuine people that need this fund, the genuine Nigerian youth that need this fund can get the fund. So very soon, it's going to be placed out. We are going to get the fund, and we are going to work with, because, you know, like I said again to people, Ministry of Youth is not a funding ministry. And we are still going to work with all CBN, BOI, and all other financial, Ministry of Finance to make sure that this money is being paid as soon as possible. We believe in working and achieving results. Much talk, we talk. What's the result? But now, very soon, and that is why our agenda for this year as Ministry of Youth, as Minister of Youth, is to empower the youth in collaborations, whichever way you want to do it. Just collaborate to make sure that things work, to support them in whichever way you want to support them in the areas, and to protect them.
I understand that. I mean, I was talking about selection process again for this 100 billion relaunch of this investment fund. I understand it's for both startups and those who want to expand their business.
Businesses.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how would it work for startups and those who want to expand?
When you apply, those have applied, that will do a revalidation now very soon. When you apply for it and they looked at it, and the body, there's a PMO working on it. We looked at it. After looking at it, they see it, and immediately they saw it and they said that they'll pick it up. You don't need to know me. The president, I don't know anybody before becoming a minister. It was the president directive, so you don't need to know me. And that is what we are saying, that you don't need to know anybody. And that is what the president is putting down, that you don't need to know anybody before you can do anything in this country.
Okay, now let's talk about the fact that, you see, I told you I'll go back to 2020. When this thing initially came up, it had 75, I think it was 75 trillion or something like that. So 5 million, millions, sorry. And you had about, I think, 500,000. Now, initially, some candidates shortlisted could not access the loans. Out of 25,000, only 4,307, that's about 14%, were able to. How do you intend to prevent this from occurring?
And that is where we are. We are, as a body, as a ministry, as trying to look at it very well before putting it out, so that it will not be like what have happened before, so that more than 30, even if it's possible, we make it a quarterly stuff, so that you do your own, first set, get it, second set, get it, third set, get it. So that it's not just that anybody will just come and say, okay, we've not gotten this, it's for their family, we need to input this. No. They pick from what is on ground and they get it straight. Whichever way they want to put it up, they do it, and they make sure that this fund gets those, and that is very important, that need it to do the business and to start up the business.
Okay, let me just ask you this. This is just by the way, you're just coming in. I trust you have access to these funds now. I mean, you're just coming in as the minister.
Yes. Just
you have access to.
We'll push it. We will push it. Don't worry about that.
Okay, I should not bother about
Don't bother about that. We will push it. The fund is with the government, so if I said I don't have access to it, then I'm wrong.
Oh, okay. Well.
Because I'm part of the government.
Oh, yeah, you're part of the government.
Yes.
So I just wanted to make sure, because sometimes the cry is that I couldn't lay my hands on the funds, and so
yes. No. I think that's why I said the PMO, the structure. We need to look at the structure very well. See, maybe they are doing the right thing. Hope there's nothing they've tampered with. What is at the back end? Have they not input another thing at the back end? Is it meant? Are those, if today they are going to roll it out, are those people that are meant to earn this money? Are those the one that's going to get this money from?
yeah, that's very important. And let me ask, let's talk about the challenges youths face. Young entrepreneurs face in accessing capital funds, equity, with the economy the way it is, so to say, and high interest rates. How are you going to go around this?
The way to go about this is simple. And that is why we said intergovernmental collaboration. And that is why, again, I will put it jokingly, that is why the president appoints young people like us to be in charge of, so that we go to those that are in charge and in it. And that is why we're also in fact to see that, okay, what is happening to the youth? How can we do? And all these questions have been answered. When they talk about the tax reform, I was asking somebody that, see, if you have 50 million naira to do your business, you don't need to pay tax. Or there's a certain amount of tax you need to pay and all that. All these things have been addressed. And it's part of the reforms that the president is looking at gradually into all his initiatives and even other initiatives from Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Budget and Planning, Ministry. You will see all these things that have been spelled out just to tackle this. And that is why I said every initiative of a government is in line just to give the youth an enable environment to thrive. Inclusion.
All right, like I did talk about before, when it was in 2020, it was 75 billion. But it's been moved to 110. You want to tell us what informed this? What informed the increase? And is the Nigerian Youth Employment Action Plan connected to the NYIF?
Yeah, it's connected. And last year, immediately I became the minister, I have a meeting with the private sector.
Okay.
And we sat them together. Now we have a technical working committee that wants to look into what they have, what is a problem, how we come in, and how the NYIFs too can work for it. And don't forget that even we launched, the ministry launched the bank, the youth bank, that the NYIF is going to transform to youth bank. So again, it's not going to be an initiative. Yes. So later it's not going to be an initiative. It's going to be a structured institution whereby you can go there. You don't need, there's a certain amount of money that you will get. If you get this money, you are going to pay so amount percentage back, and that. And it's going to give a stable this thing, and it works in the student loan that
so talk to me about the grants, the loans. Now you're talking about, this is sounding interesting. It's going to dovetail into a bank, the NYIF. I just got that from you, how you called it NYIF. That's NYIF.
Okay, yes.
Okay, all right. So tell us, let's talk about grants, loans, and equity, and eligibility criteria. I mean, that's still in the future works. I mean,
no, but it's in the future works
dovetailing into banks.
And you know, it's the financial people that will break this down for you. So that is why we put it as an expert. We bring them in to the ministry. Because again, the reason why a lot of initiative fails is when you don't have professionals to handle it. Just because you want to handle it yourself. And probably you don't have the capacity to handle it. There's no doubt about that. But if you put it out, you put those people that can do this. Those people that really have a passion to do it. And they are trained well to do it in financial department. So they will give you all this and they will put it down. Before you know, we're out there. And we are still going to put, and again, we have a working website that you can get most information about ministry. Now, we have a dashboard that you have all initiatives. You will get it there, all initiatives.
Like I said, they're listening. You want to talk about the working website?
Yeah, I will give it to them.
No, just say it so they will guess
it. In the dashboard, let me start. The working website of Ministry of Youth now is www.fmyd.gov.ng, and we have the Youth Help Desk. I will talk about that later if time still permits. But the dashboard, www.fmyd.gov.ng.
Okay.
On the youth activities dashboard, you will see everything that you need. You don't need to go to WhatsApp group or whatever, or somebody will send a link to you that they will hack your phone this time around. No.
Okay.
We have this web working actively. We launched this December. So we have everything working. That just go there, look at what we are doing, see what we are doing. And those that does not need that word. And I think this same December, we had a council that have not happened for past 5 years, bringing the Commissioner of Youth in the state together so that we can work together and look at all these dashboards, look at the websites, look at everything, so that we get to those youth. And I don't even think we have youth that cannot get to the dashboard right now.
Dashboard. Okay, let me ask you this. The president is asking the youth to maintain faith. I mean, earlier on you talked about, what was it you said? Okay, well, let me just go. Asking the youth to maintain faith in the country. I mean, where about 85.6% are self-employed. They're employing themselves. They have no job, so they're trying to manage. And then, of course, I talked about it when I started. The unemployment rate is going crazy. The hunger is, I mean, why people are bothered about the hunger really is that you don't seem to see the, they used to say, the silver lining. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you don't seem to see the end. And so what we usually will call the Japa syndrome, particularly with the youths running away from their country. At a point, I started saying to myself, I don't know whether I should blame them.
Maybe you should Japa.
No, I'm not talking about Japa. Even if I'm not a youth any longer. Well, youth in my heart. But what I'm saying, he's asking, have faith, maintain faith in the country while you have this indices. Are you not bothered about how the youth are feeling, the Japa syndrome?
You know, when we started this, I talked to you about the reason why the youth should feel the way they are feeling. And because the competence is not there, the commitment to the people is not there. And majority of the leaders lack characters. And all these theories are what the president is portraying now. And I said it that it will be difficult, totally difficult.
You know, we talked about, I'm not cutting you short, you will continue. You know, behind this, we talked about the fact that we even said sometimes the youths themselves don't seem to be living up to expectation. And then we said,
no, that is there.
And then we said, who are the people mentoring
them? That is where I'm going to. See, you know, the youth itself as a body, the youth itself as, go to anywhere in the world. Go to anywhere in the world, in every sector, in the sports sector. When I called youth in sports, they are fantastic. Youth in education, you will see us, we are thriving. Youth in ICT, we are doing good. Yeah, youth in entertainment, we are doing good.
Very good.
Youth in agric, you will see us, we are thriving. What we need is an enable environment to thrive. And that is the focus of this president. And that's the focus of this government. A lot of people will say things, they will comment, but the focus is that
we don't have it yet, you're trying to have it, that's what you're saying.
We are working towards it. Very soon things will come up. A lot of things will come out. It will showcase to the people, and they will see it themselves.
And you said you don't have the date yet because this is the first quarter. It's good to start running on time.
You mean the confab?
Yeah, the date you said because...
No, it's first quarter now. It's going to come out very soon. No, we're in the first quarter. It's just a month. It's just some days to the first quarter, but maybe 7 days to the first quarter or 8 days.
Yeah, 8 days.
So even before the 28 days to the first quarter, you will see it is going to be up there. Okay. And we are going to make it, and it's going to be there. I will be there. I will work. They will work. We put it together. And the president is determined to create an enable environment. And he started it with student loan schemes. And not only student loan scheme, not just giving them the loan. And he said, okay, I will give you a token. And don't forget, of recent, we put up the CNG. The first set of people that was given the CNG was a student, and the labor union was added so that they can have free transit access.
I mean, the talk is that you hardly see the CNGs. I mean, and the talk is that the president put the cart before the horse. He should have put the CNGs on the road before doing the. I no longer.
But you know, like you said, we are more than 60% of the population.
Yeah, I mean youths.
Yes, and part of that youth constituency are the students.
Yeah, of course.
So we need to look into all these. Yes, and make sure, thank you. So that we look into all these and make sure that everything is accessible for us.
I will go back to, but now you brought up the students' loan, phone. Talk to us about the profile student needs to create before proceeding with the loan.
Just go to the site
before we talk.
Go to the site, registered. When you're registered, you'll be paid. Somebody sent a message to me that he's not able, and I'll say, okay, let me see what you are doing. Screenshot and send to me. And he was doing the wrong thing. It's just for us to follow the instruction.
So what's the right thing to do?
Go to the website.
Who is eligible?
Follow the instruction.
Okay, the moment you get to the website,
follow the instruction.
Is government making sure that the people out there know about this website?
Yeah, yes. Everywhere we go, we put in line with the student unions, government, everybody, even the Net Fund himself, even myself. Net Fund is not under me, but it's under the government. It's part of the initiative of the government that involves the young people of the country. So we do it, and we make sure that anywhere we go, we talk about the youth initiatives. And that is why also we go to NISDA, and NISDA come and say, okay, in a collaboration, let's do a digital for all, okay, so that it will even influence with the Net Fund already itself.
I have a short time. Repayment, loan repayment, how? Are there consequences for defaulting? Have you people thought about this?
No, they're working on that.
They're yet working on it?
They're working on that.
Okay, let's talk about the 3MTT.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Tell us how you are going to create 2 million digital jobs.
That's maybe when you want to talk about NIA. 3MTT is not under me.
Oh, okay, it's not under
Yes, it's under the Minister of Digital Innovation and Technology, and it's learning, training. After training.
Because he talked about, he talked about net exporter. Now, I was wondering to myself, what is really net exporter? And in these climes where the network, you and I, it's not so...
It's not so smooth.
Yeah.
And it's not good.
You're talking about net exporting.
And even to tell you about the collaboration, I can tell you that even the Minister, Bosun Tijani, is working on having a cyber network providers in all universities very soon. And see, this thing is a process.
Across the country?
Yes, across the country. This thing is a process. We'll put up the process, you worked on it again, you worked on it, and
talk is cheap. I hope it's not just talk.
That is why we said we don't want to talk too much. We want to put actions into whatever we are doing. We're in the year of actions. We want to put actions in every aspect, in every areas that we are working on. So that when we come here, we will bring out figures. Not that we want to do it, we want to do it. We are doing it. You can verify. It is here. You can see it here. You can see it there. So we want to come out with figures, facts, and to tell you that you can go to different places. You don't need to come to us. In fact, when you are working, when people see what you are doing, you don't need to talk to them before. They don't need to come and say that you are not doing this, you are not doing that.
Something in the mold of what the Internal Affairs Minister is doing with the passport. You don't need to go to anywhere. Just go to the site and get your thing done.
And get your things done. And you can see that he's also doing it. And that's action. So we are spreading up the actions and we are trying to train, empower. And like I said, it is the time to support the young people, to empower them, and to protect them.
Yeah, you talked about empowerment. Integration of skills and entrepreneurship development into NYIF, to bridge the gap between ambition and opportunity. You want to talk about this briefly?
Actually, I will talk about the creation. That's the empowerment that we're talking about.
Okay.
And the major empowerment we are talking about now is to bring up initiatives. And part of those initiatives are the Nigerian Youth Academy that is going to be held very soon. Even the website is live now.
As soon as possible.
It's this live. You can go on and learn and learn.
Nigerian Youth Academy. What will it be about?
NIA. It's about skills. And that is why one of my own personal thing that I've put into this government is that at the end of 2 years, a Nigerian youth must have at least 2 skills. If you have a skills before, then you upskill your skills. And that is why NIA is there for those clarification of young people that we've clarified.
NIA is inside NIF.
No, it's not inside NIF.
Okay, it's outside.
It's outside NIF. And we have 2 types of youth according to us. It may be different from any other person, but we have 2 types of the formal youth and the informal youth.
Okay, the formal
and the informal youth, and which the formal youth are the minority. The informal youth are the majority. So the informal youth, because of the informal youth, are those things where the confab is coming up so that we are bringing it to the grassroots. The formal youth are those that we can speak English, we can say this, we can do that, we can write, and we are in NYSC. And when you look at the numbers of those people that are in NYSC, 480,000 people annually, and you put it together and look at it to the informal youth and exactly what happened in the 9 SACs. when the formal youth are outside, I was outside too and all that, and we're saying this and that, and the informal youth comes up and everybody run away, and they take charge of it. And we're where we are today about NSAS, and that is why we put in protection of the young people. Even as at yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was with the IG of the police.
What do you mean by protection of the young people?
We need to protect the youth.
Oh, okay.
And that is why we are bridging the gap between the people, the youth and the government.
Yeah.
We are bridging the gap. And let me tell you, I need to put this up, the youth help desk. We are saying you don't need to go on Twitter, you don't need to go on Facebook to go and report the cases that at the end of the day, embarrassment, people will say a lot of things. Some people will even comment wrongly about you. Come to the youth help desk.
Youth
help desk.
Help desk.
Yes,
okay.
The youth help desk. It is there. It's going to be more live now.
It's online?
Yeah, it's online.
Okay. Just type youth help desk.
Just type youth help desk, it's going to bring it out. Or you type nigerianyouthhelpdesk.com.
Okay.
Put your complaints. We are going to attend to this. We take it to the police. We take it to the board.
Across the nation?
Across the nation.
Do you have the capacity? By capacity, I mean, do you have the adequate personnel, resources?
That's one of the problems that we talk about. When you look at when you want to achieve, you want to build a three-bedroom duplex in one day. It's not possible. You must start from somewhere.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
You must start from somewhere. And we've started from somewhere. And we've projected. And I told you that we have a council for the past 5 years.
Because I'm looking at overrun.
Yes, we have a council at the past 5 years. And the council is when the Commissioner of Youth Development in all states will come together with the Ministry of Youth. We look at what we are doing, how we can help, how we can start. Very soon we'll start moving to the governors. We tell them how, because it's the arm of government, how we can empower the youth in your state. We are not talking about empowerment or freeze and freeze at this time around. We are talking about re-empowerment. We are talking about how you can support in your little way. When we bring everything together, when we collaborate together, we will achieve a lot. There's no doubt about that. And that is this thing that I used to say to people, that a tree does not make a forest. It is a gradual process. And we'll come together and Nigeria is going to be better. And the youth of this country will shine, no matter whatever anybody says.
That's good to hear. And one can only wish you the best and hope that the youths will look up and say, that guy.
That is what we are projecting. That is what I am
proud.
That is what I'm looking at.
And then we can begin to say the youths are beginning to get their acts together. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Minister Ayodele.
Thank you very much
for being on our Rights Prime Time.